I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone.
What was it like, your very first investment property on your own?
Oh. Well, so the very first property I bought was my rental property, which I did not use a bank. I used my tax return for $5,000. Okay. And I bought this ugly Huckleberry, me and my husband, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, y'all. It was ugly. It was on South Orange Street. I still have that house. Shout out to my tenants who still rock with me. I love y'all. Okay. It's a cute house now. But at the time, it was an ugly house. And I mean, me and my husband would go to Family Dollar and buy that peel and stick flooring. We did what we needed to do to make that house get ready. That's the first property that we ever owned together that I was able to pledge at that bank and let them use it as collateral.
So you got it for $4,500. You got it. How'd you get it for that? Like a wholesale deal?
I bought it for $5,000. Yeah. So I had a wholesaler call me, said, hey, we have a property. It's really bad. And I was just going to sell it to one of my investors. And I was like, cause I don't have no money, but I'm like, yo, I got my taxes coming in. So I'm like calculating all my little tokens and stuff. I used that $5,000 tax return. I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy the property and I'm gonna keep it. I fixed that property up. I put $3,000 into it, y'all, my tax return and my real estate commission check, $8,000. Sent that sucker, got it appraised, $60,000.
What? And you was using peel and stick?
Look, it was nice though. I'm telling y'all, like we literally glued that sucker down where it was nice. Like
that's starting where you at and really just getting into the game.
That's it. Start where you at and stop trying to make it pretty. Everybody be stunting and stuff like, yo, I got like 150 doors. You can do it too. Look, I had one door that was $5,000. I put $3,000 into it. And guess what? That's how I got my start. I ain't have a whole lot of doors. And I still got that property. That property is my humble beginning, you know, because if I would have never did that, then I wouldn't have started investing, you know.
I heard you mention something too about like a portion as far as like leveraging the property. So can you speak a little bit further about how you did that and explain that for any followers that might be interested?
Absolutely. So what happens is now I have a property that's worth $60,000. So it don't matter what I paid for it and what I put into it, if it's worth that much. So when I'm talking with my banker, he's like, do you have any properties? And I'm like, yeah, I got a little house that's paid for. And when they appraised it, it appraised for $60,000. Well, if the bank is going to give you 80% of that value, what is 80% of 60,000, y'all?
Shit, that's what, $50,000? No, a
$48,000.
little less than 50, huh?
Yeah, $48,000.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question. How much money do you need if the bank say, look, you need 20% to put down property, and I'm looking at a property for $225,000. $225,000 times 20%. What's the math on that? I love y'all.
Yeah, I got it.
45,000.
Okay, and how much they gave me? How much they gave me?
48.
Okay.
In there.
You came out winning. You still had a little extra love.
Yeah. And look, I did that with my little $8,000 investment. I was all in. All in. And when you all in, you know what I'm saying? You ain't focused on what the left is doing and what the right is doing. All you focus on is what you're doing. You have to be all in for yourself or nobody else is going to be all in for you. And if you look into the left and you look into the right, you're distracted. You have to stay focused with what you have in front of you. Everybody else may look like they're doing way more than you. Everybody else may look like they're on a higher platform than you. Everybody else bank accounts may look than yours and they got all of these relationships and all of these people rock with them. But when you look at yourself straight up and down and you've been 100 with yourself and you like, look, we got to get it. We got to stay focused. Then your attention is not going to be doing this no more. It's going to be doing this.
Just got them blinders on.
It. As long as you're in your lane, you'll never run out of gas. You'll never run out of gas as long as you stay in your lane.
Message.
I had to hit him with it. That's a bar.
So you take that money, you use the BRRRR method and you flipping now, or you get into that other property and you start buying and holding?
No, so I did a flip right afterwards, and then I bought some doors that I held on to. And eventually that's what led me into developing. right? Because I've seen empty lots in subdivisions, and I'll just go build a new construction house, and then I'll sell it. Then I go do another one, and then I did a small little development. Then I did another little development. Then I'm like, you know what? I want to do a big development.
And that led to Madeline Cove.
That led to Madeline Cove, right?
We got to talk about that.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah. So when they came out with the Opportunity Zone Act, I was like, yo, people are upset because they think only the rich can benefit off of this. Again, when you're in your lane, you will not run out of gas, right? I'm like, yo, this is the vehicle we need to prevent gentrification. This is the vehicle we need to stop what's going on in our own communities. Who else better to come into our own communities than us, who understands the pain points of what's going on in the communities? We understand what we need. We understand what we don't want. So why not us get together and go do it? So I'm like, all right, I got a lot of investors. Over the years, I've been built tons of relationships, right? And so finally I was like, I started talking to all my normal investors who I've made millions for, y'all, millions. They start looking at me with a side eye. Like, why you want to invest over there? Like, what you mean over there? You don't have a problem flipping a property over there to them.
But whenever it comes to building a whole community,
it's a problem.
So what's going to happen when you build a community? This is what people need to understand. When you go in and develop a community, you are increasing tax dollars. And when you have increased tax dollars in communities, your voice becomes much louder. If you don't have any value, then your voice is not really heard. So for me, it's extremely important for Madeline Cove is a statement. It is a social statement. It is an economic statement. It is a statement to say, hey, we are here. We ain't going nowhere. And guess what? We doing this all over the world. I'm going to teach everybody how to do this all over the world. And so I had so many investors tell me, nah, T, we're gonna sit this one out. We're gonna see how it go. You're gonna see how it go. I had investors was like, nah, like I don't want to invest on that side of town. Like I ain't trying to put that kind of money over there. First of all, dude,
we know what's going on in Lafayette. Like,
yeah. First of all, this is your capital gains. Like, you know, I'm sassy. So I'm like, this is your capital gains. You about to give this to Uncle Sam anyway. This not even your money. So if they saying you can put the money that you about to give to Uncle Sam in a vehicle that can enrich a community, and you're choosing not to because you don't believe in it, you about to give the money away anyway. This makes no sense to me. At least roll a dice on yourself and try to make something. There's nothing lost if this don't go right. It was going to Uncle Sam. There's no risk. That makes sense.
Taking 40 out of that.
Off top.
It's crazy they was willing to let it go.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, let me just say this.
That's good. Okay? That's that Lafayette other shit right there.
Let me say this. I went through 100 no's, way more than 100, but 100 solid no's of no. You know where the Opportunity Zones profit at in Lafayette, Louisiana? In the oil field center. Do the oil field center need any more tax dollars given to them with ICE coming over to take over everything?
No. And I knew it was going to be some adjacent zones because we had another guest told us, like, if it's adjacent to an opportunity zone, it can flow through. And that's some bullshit.
It's all them days.
Nah, man, I gotta call Lafayette out on their bullshit. Y'all full of shit, Lafayette.
Let me tell y'all this. There's some people that's on the government level that really rock with the north side of Lafayette, and they rock with us and the initiative, and they have fought blood, tooth, and nails to help us get this through. There's some solid people, and then you got some not so solid people, right, who have their own agendas and who want to keep people suppressed for whatever reason, right? Who's afraid of, anything to take place, right? Like lay off the park people, like what? Let me not get into politics. But
that's a whole nother thing. Like
taking away the Walmart from the north side.
look, don't get me started on this podcast. I'll never leave. Okay. Like, I'm just saying one thing I'm passionate about.
Two have to happen. That's gonna be for sure.
One thing I'm passionate about is being equal. Like, we're not even asking for anything other than equality. Like, that's it. Like, treat us equally. And I say us, right? Poverty has no color. Right? Scott Turner said it best. Poverty has no color. I'm talking about the people who's living in areas that's working against them, who can't afford one single home because the average income on that particular side of town is $22,000 to $25,000 for one individual. Some homes, two. And the average home sales price is $200,000. How can they ever afford home ownership if you're not going to make it affordable? And so with Madeline Cove, we didn't just make it affordable, and we didn't use any government money. None. So when people hear us say we're building affordable housing, they automatically associate that with subsidized housing. We ain't taking a penny from the government. The government is not about to come in here and control who we allow and who we don't allow in our communities. When we say affordable, we're building homes that fits within that income bracket of the individuals who live there. That's who this is for.
To create ownership in that community.
That's right.
Can you break down the difference between subsidized housing versus the affordable housing?
So, all right. So when I say affordable, I mean literally affordable within your income. Okay. Meaning you don't need government assistance. Like, we don't need subsidized assistance, meaning grant assistance from the government. Okay. They give you grants and tax dollars and all these different type of things to start building in communities. We're not using any of that. We're using our own money from our bank accounts and capital gains money, right, that would be paid to the IRS, and we're developing the community. So affordable to us is building homes that are within your price range and your income bracket. Their income is not about to go up right now unless minimum wage go up. So why not meet them where they at? We have to have a hearts and mind change. So not only am I working with the community in regards to building these homes, I'm working on a mindset, because to be a homeowner, you have to be able to retain this. You remember how I said I was making 5 and 6 figures and I was blowing through it? I didn't have financial literacy. So what good would it do if we're building these homes for people in the community and they don't have financial literacy and they end up going bankrupt and are foreclosing?
Nothing. You just put them right back where they was at.
We put them right back where they were, but worse now, because now they have this major thing on their name. So we have to educate in all aspects, not just within the community, but the people outside of the community who have this fear of something bigger than them taking place.
That's powerful. That's impactful.
So after those 100 no's, Jalen, just to finish the story, we end up securing the development, right? And we're investing $14.5 million into a community that haven't received tax dollars, investment dollars. They haven't received anything in decades. And now we're able to be able to provide a mixed use community that consists of, we're looking at bringing in a grocery store to the area, because there's none within the
proximity. Never a grocery store in the hood.
Yeah, we're looking at bringing in a coffee shop and a bookstore, and not another liquor store and not another gas station. We're looking at bringing in a type of grocery store that's healthy, right? Like, stop putting junk grocery stores in low income areas and expecting people to get rid of this diabetes and all of this other stuff that's killing people within the community. So the partnerships that we're looking at bringing in are very strategic, because it's meant to uplift the community and not deplete the community.
That's powerful. And I got so happy whenever you said the coffee thing, because I always tell David, I'm like, bro, there's no Black-owned coffee spots or no smoothie spots on the north side. I'm like, bro, we need that.
Yeah, they have Black coffee that's on downtown Lafayette.
Okay, I forget about them.
But downtown Lafayette to me is not North Lafayette. I was just saying we can argue this, right? They be like, "Yo, you from New Orleans? You don't know." But I beg to differ. That's downtown. Downtown Lafayette, not
that's totally
North
different.
And they are part of the opportunity zone as well, downtown Lafayette.
And one of the coolest parts about it to me was like the grocery store aspect. Like that was really dope because of the whole thing as far as food deserts. And then like y'all said, even during the podcast, like no grocery shops in the hood or no quality grocery stores like in the hood. And I just think that's really commendable that you're bringing that option to people so that they can have healthier food options.
Absolutely, absolutely. And shout out to any grocery stores that want to sit down and have a conversation at bringing their grocery stores to our communities.
Yes, we got to make that happen. Yeah, if y'all
on
the grocery store, y'all reach out.
Yes.
And I kind of want to go a little bit deeper with the whole generational wealth thing and what you're doing, because one of the things about that is, didn't you name one of the streets after your son?
I did. So one of the streets in the community is called Terrica Road. And that's important to me because I made my son a promise up under that bridge that we would never be homeless again, and that I will work my butt off day and night, so he never have to experience that hunger and, homelessness and all of the stuff that we were going through. Like, I don't want him to have to experience the things that I had to experience in life. And so with that, we are going to have an unveiling of the street where I'm able to present to him his own street name. But it's going to be here forever. People be able to ride on Terrica Road and know the story behind that, to know that that's my son's name. And we did this because of a mother's promise to her son.
Hey,
that's cool.
Like, for one, I ain't never seen the name Tyreek on no street. That's hard. That's the hardest part about it. That's a black name on the street, for one.
Yeah.
I love that. The young man, y'all got to put like a plaque or something with it, like with your story. Like, you know how to be having that in Louisiana, like the historical markers. Then you get on y'all street.
Y'all gonna be out there whenever we have the big old grand opening, and we getting started with construction and everything now as we speak. Whenever we have everything going on, y'all gotta come out there.
Sure.
Be out there. Yes. Yeah, so,
we gonna pull up we gotta pull up with the crew. We gotta get that.
Yes, come through.
I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone.